जय गजानन। गणेशाय नमस्तुभ्यं। हेरंबाय एकदंतिने स्वानंदवासिने तुभ्यं ब्रह्मणस्पतये नमः. So yesterday we saw how Durmati was killed by Ganesha. When Durmati came to attack Ganesha, and he pulled out the left tooth. With the same tooth, Ganesha hit him back and hit with that tooth on the head of Durmati, and he died instantly. So all the devas, now the Isuras, the Danavas, Daityas, they all went back to Patal Loka because their leader was dead now, the chief was dead, and so they had no other alternative but go back to Patal Loka. The Devas, Gurus, and Munis and Rishis were all rejoicing at the death of Durmati, and they sang in praise of Ganesha. So they sang that, "Oh Vignaraja, you are an imperishable one. You are the Pushtipati. You are Dundi. You are infinite with attributes and without attributes. You bestow peace on all. And so we hail you. So you who reside in the Swananda Loka, you are knowledgeable. You are the very embodiment of the Vedas, and you, O Lambodara, the witness of all, the destroyer of Durmati, we hail you." So they sing this extol, this praise in praise of Ganesha. Ganesha acknowledges it, and he says that I'm pleased with this stotra, and anyone who listens or reads or recites the stotra will attain liberation and will get Sayujya Mukti. Sayujya Mukti means will become one with me, will be united with me. So, having granted this blessing, he disappears. Now, here, one question may arise. In some idols of Ganesha, left tooth is broken. In some idols of Ganesha, right tooth is broken. How is that? And which is right? And people make different theories and about it. You know, so is the turning of the trunk of the elephant. Either it is twisted to the right or twisted to the left. So what does it signify? First, see, if the trunk is twisted to the most of it, it is twisted to the left of Ganesha. It is twisted to the left. So it means that it is for the householders. Normally, the twisted trunk to the right is in the temples, is kept in the temples, and it is generally meant for liberation. If those who are if it is at home, that means you are asking for liberation, means you don't have any desires to be fulfilled. So that's the significance. Then, as far as the tooth is concerned, there are at different occasions, Ganesha's that tooth has been broken. One such occasion was when, see, today being a hump day, today is Wednesday, which is called a hump day, which means a relaxed day. We can discuss anything else also. Okay, so not necessarily confined to our Mudgal Puran, but it's maybe related also. In this connection, I would like to take you back to the story when of Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra, you remember that Rishi Ruchika? He was married to he was caught in the no, he was married to the king's daughter, and he was an old man. He was married that he married the king's daughter, and one what was that story? Then at that time, his wife, when his wife, when the king's wife visited her daughter, she I also forgot that story. That the Rishi, when Sanaka and Sanandana and all they came and they made him young, or they returned the use, with the power of his penance, he became endowed with youthfulness. So then, when he was become youthful, then when the queen comes to the forest to see her daughter, to visit her daughter, she finds this Rishi young, and so she says that ask him to give both of us one son. Remember that story? So that was when then he did one does one yagna and brings two bowl of sweet dish, and in that process he gives his daughter, his wife, one bowl, and the other one bowl, and then they get exchanged. So, but then the rishi had specifically told, you have to have this bowl, you give your mother this bowl. But then that the queen felt that she should take the bowl of her daughter, and then they got exchanged. And her daughter didn't bother so much at that time, but then the result was that the queen got a son who was like an ascetic. That was Vishwamitra, and whereas the daughter, the rishi's wife, got a son who was very warrior like kshatriya in nature, means he was fiery in nature and very so then when at but before they were born only, the behavior of the wife, from that only the rishi came to know something had happened. That so from the glow on her face and her very from her behavior, the rishi came to know that something had wrong. So when he asked her that time, she said, she admitted that there was an exchange of the both. That is why. So then the rishi said, I had warned you that you give this particular bowl to your mother, this particular bowl you have to have. Now what you will have, you will get a son who will be like a kshatriya in nature, who will become and whereas your mother will get someone who will be brahmin in nature, or an ascetic who will become an ascetic. So then now this his wife was worried. She says that I don't want a kshatriya, I want someone like you. So then he says, what is, it's not my fault, you made the mistake. But then she cried and all, and she made him she made him find some solution. And so he says, okay, but now whoever is born will be a kshatriya, but his son will be an ascetic. His son. So that is how uh, the wife's his wife's first delivery was Jamadagni, who was a kshatriya, and then his son who was born to him was Parashurama. And whereas the Gadi's wife, the king's wife, gave birth to Vishwamitra. Actually, that person was a Vishwamitra was a Brahmin, he was ascetic in nature, but because he was born in the king's family, he had to perform that kind of activity. He had to rule. So he was trained like that. So that is how Vishwamitra became like a warrior. Means he was trained to be a warrior, although he was an ascetic. So then Vishwamitra, and you know the Vishwamitra Vasishta story. Vishwamitra went and started, because as a king, he had to go for hunting, capture the kingdoms and all. So when he went, he saw Vasishta, and that story we saw. But here we come to Jamadagni's story. Jamadagni's son was Parshuram. Jamadagni's son was Parshuram, who was a sannyasi from birth. But this because this Jamadagni was Ruchika's wife gave birth to the very majestic ascetic Jamadagni. This son was born to Jamadagni was Parshuram. Okay. Now this Parshuram was a warrior. Now, Jamadagni, he was an ascetic, but he had a Kamadenu, a cow like Kamadenu, and this. There were several people who were after that, means were envious of this possession. So there was one king Kartavirya, who was very well known in the region of Mahishmati, and he was after this cow. So he asked the Jamadagni. Jamadagni refused to give, and so he killed him. When his father was killed, Parshuram got angry. Parshuram at that time had gone somewhere outside. When he came back, he saw that his father was killed. So he vowed took a vow to kill 21 generations of Kshatriyas. Of the Kshatriya clan, he decided to kill um, uh, uh, 21 generations. So he just went on killing all kings, even children he was killing. And in that process, he came to the last of kings. Now, here I want to tell you one thing which is related to an incident that happened in India, in Uttarakhand, where there was I don't know whether told the story about the tunnel. Did I tell? No. So there was our government was constructing one tunnel in Uttarakhand, which was in the it was near Uttarakhand and Uttaranchal, Uttaranchal. So there they were constructing a tunnel. And then the tunnel collapsed and 42 people were trapped in that tunnel, right? Remember that? That was in October 2023. October 2012, sometimes around the same time, in October 2023, 2023, afterwards, towards the end, after the, I think around Dasara or a little bit after that. So 42 people were trapped. They brought JCBs, they brought cranes. There's so many machinery was brought from all over to take them out of that. They were all alive and captured. They were alive there. They could hear them. They knew their requirements. So they tried to dig a hole from this side, from that side. Nothing happened. In fact, the international people who were known for disaster management, means who are known for such excavations and who are able to rescue people in such kind of disasters were called, but they were all helpless. So then somebody said that pray to the goddess of that mountain. That Grama Devata, you have not pray to that. They did the prayers. Even that foreigner also was sitting there and making and doing prayers to that. Then, but still nothing was happening. That everything was all the actually the machines had started breaking down. Some parts was breaking. The digging part was breaking. This so a lot of they was getting stuck at every position. So at that time, I got a like I was. It was continuously being telecast, so I was following that on TV continuously. And that one night when I was sleeping, I got a dream of that Uttaranchal, a certain portion of Swami Tapon Maharaj. The Tapon Maharaj's book is there. I have a book on wandering in the Himalayas, and he used to travel entire region on foot, entire Uttaranchal, Uttarkashi. Uttarkashi is there is his ashram. He was a guru of our Swami Chinmayananda of Chinmay Mission. So I got a dream about just asking me to go and see that book. Okay, so it was in the middle of the night. I got up and picked up that book, and when I turned it, it was right in the page where that Uttaranchal portion, and it is written that Parshuram is the deity of that mountain where these people's cave was there. And I said, now these people were praying to some Devi, but actually they had to take permission of Parshuram to dig that area for helping them in the rescue. Because now this is Devbhumi. Remember, this entire region is God's area. So we need the permission of the deities. As I told you in Bhutan, how my experience was. They don't believe. They don't even have an army. They believe in the God. So when you have a trust or belief in God, you have to take their help. So I had even written to that TV channel that this is the way it should be. They asked them to take prayer to Parshuram. Of course, nobody bothered. Then but I was in the firm belief that this is. I was just waiting and waiting for more signals to come, because I realized then at that time I realized that Swami Tapohan Maharaj had manifest, or he was trying to reach out. That's what, because I could even Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda also manifested in my house, and I could feel his presence and everything. So I knew that there was some divine hand at this. There was a divine hand here, trying to tell us something, trying to convey something at this point. So I just was being present 24/7, just being present and awake and alert, just to see what all indications I'm getting. And when in that process, this digging was going on, everything was going on, but nothing was happening. One machine after the other was breaking down. Nothing was happening. It went on for 17 days, I think it went on. And then that foreigner who had come to assist us was telling, before Christmas they will be celebrating Christmas at home or something like that. He made assurances, but nothing happened. Just at that time, um, I happened to go to, I think it was November, somewhere early November. I happened to go to Kerala. My cousin had invited me to for one award function there, for somebody else was getting an award. So I happened to visit there. So when I went there, okay, I said I might as well visit two, three other places. So I went to visit Kaladi, Adi Shankaracharya's birthplace. When I went to visit Kaladi, and there is a Adi Shankaracharya University there, which has a beautiful library of exquisite books on all our Vedas, Shastras, and lots of books on Buddhism is also there. So there, when I went to I happened to notice on display some books for sale, they also published some books. So one book which I noticed was this book on a history of Mushaka Vamsha. So I bought this book because this was by the principal of that dean of that university, of that Adi Shankara University. So I bought the book, and on the way only I was reading it on the way and the plane at the airport and all that. And you know what? This last king whom Parshuram had killed at Mahishmati. Okay, at Mahishmati, the last king, when he was killed, so Parshuram thought that 21st generation, now all the generations are killed. That was a promise he had made to his father Jamadagni. So at that time, so he thought the entire Kshatriya clan has been destroyed now. So he was happy, like he was relaxed. But at that time, that last king, Kartavirya, last king who was resisting till the last. Kartavirya, he is now, even there is a temple of worship of that Kartavirya in that area. His wife was pregnant at that time. And so there was one Brahmin, that is the priest of that palace. Means they have Brahmin for doing all functions and all. So they have one priest, preceptor. So he knew of this. He said, somehow you should escape. So that his wife was want to commit suicide. She was so this, but then she said, now see, you are pregnant. You may not want to live, but then for the sake of that child, you should live. So he took come along with me, and he took her into the forest through all the between elephants, lions, all through the dense forests in that area. Through that, she swam through the river, and like that, they escaped, and came to South India. They reached South India along the banks of the river of Arabian Sea, and in Kerala, they reached Kerala to be in fact, and in Kerala. Again, there also it was a dense forest area. Somehow they climbed the mountains, hillocks, and all. Finally, reached one mountain, and that preceptor, he said, I think this mountain has some caves, looks like things are in this. So this would be a safe place. It is far away, so you can rest here, and then I will take care of from nearby fruits and all. I will bring. I will take care of you until the child is born. You remain here only. Now, okay, they said, and then she went and rested in that place where they were staying for some time. After some time, one day, when that preceptor had just gone outside, one big, huge rat came in front of her. One Eli. Eli means rat in Tamil. So Eli now, and he says, "I am the king of this mountain. This is a Eli mountain. This mountain's name was Eli mountain, and I am the king of this. And I live on eat everything on this the flesh and all whatever animals around this area. I eat and live on that. Now you have come here." And so he was looking so threatened. She was so frightened looking at him. And but now you are under my control. Means he was trying to threaten her. In the meanwhile, that preceptor came. The preceptor was annoyed seeing this kind of a huge Eli rat and talking rat. So at that time, he looked at her actually at that when the preceptor came. This queen, this lady, also got a bit of courage, and out of the fiery eyes, she looked at this Eli in such a way that it reduced to ashes, and from out of that ashes came one one human being. And he said, "I'm a Gandharva. I was cursed to become a rat. From heaven, I was cursed to become a rat, and I was staying here. And now that because you are a Brahmin, I'm redeemed now of that curse. Now I have become normal. I have become normal. But now so you can stay here, but I will see to it that you are taken care of. I'm the king of this entire place, so I will take care of you as long as you deliver your child. Then I will go back. I will go back as a Gandharva to heaven." So he was seeing to it that this area is protected. Finally, this lady gave birth to a child, and now this child was a Kshatriya child. So that is how Kshatriya did not get destroyed in India. This was the message that the Rishi Munis, the Tapan Maharaj, and all were trying to convey. And that's what I realized later on, because this and then what happened? Vishwamitra came that side. Sorry, Parashuram, after killing all those, after some time he came into this area, looking for a place where he can wash his sins off. He was so frustrated that he had killed 21 generations of people, and so many people he had killed. He was frustrated, so he wanted to do tarpanam and sort of, remove all those negativity from his self. And so he decided to a long process. So there was a river there, and he was staying there. And while one portion of that mantras, or a part of that this, it was said that a young boy, a Kshatriya boy, is required to pour water to, achamanam. We need to someone should pour water for offering. So that had to be done by that. So now he had killed all the Kshatriyas, so he didn't know what to do. At that time, this Eli manifested in front of him, and he said, "See, I am that Eli." Now, when I had, as a Gandharva, when I had come here and I was doing mischief with other rats, you had cursed me and you had made me this mountain. So in this mountain, one queen came. She was pregnant. She's a Kshatriya queen, and there's a boy growing there. He's a Kshatriya boy. I will bring him. He will do this particular portion. He will do for you. So he brought this boy, and this boy very humbly, because he was brought up humbly by his mother there. So he bowed down before Vishwamitra. He bowed down before the river and all that. This Parshuram was convinced. Okay, he by that time all his animosity and enmity all had pacified, had died down, and so he accepted water from this boy, and he performed the whole karmas, whatever he had to do, and so he was satisfied. Now that all his sins has been washed off, then what he did was he blessed this boy by pouring water, holy water, chanting mantras and pouring water over his head. And he christened him as, he gave him a name. Rama Ghata Mushika. Ramagata Mushika. That is Ghata. That is a pot of water because he was washed with the. I mean, he was anointed. You can say with that holy water, and Parashurama had done it, so he named him Ramagata and Mushika. Mushika because he was being taken care of by this rat, Eli. This Eli mountain had delivered him. So this title or this name was given to this boy. And that is a Mushika Vamsha. And this boy later he became a king. He entire region he was a ruler, and there's a whole Mushika Vamsha who actually in that Vamsha there are 97 kings. There were it was a long 200 years they ruled that area in that Kerala area. That Nandana the son who followed the Nandana the son of the founder king. There were 97 kings. All records are there of that. And this Professor Unni, who has researched on that, it's all in Malayalam. So he has researched and written this book. It was just released at that time, and he that is how there is a Mushika Vamsha. There altogether 19 kings are said to have ruled the Mushika country during a period of about 250 years, from the second half of the 9th century to the 12th century AD. Later on, this Mushika Vamsha, that when kings and all started, when all other invaders came and then kings reduced the number of kings. So maybe their influence was reduced. But coming back to our contemporary times of that caves, of that collapse of the tunnel, after having read this, I happened to talk to one of my friends in Canada on the phone, and remember my phone is tapped. I am under surveillance, so since many years now. So now I'm used to it. So so it has become quite a normal thing to me. So I'm not sensitive to that. So I just happened to have the conversation with this friend of mine in Canada, and we were just talking of all the things in. We talk of general things in her country, in our country, general politics in the whole world, not necessarily only our own what we are doing and things like that. So we were just talking about the collapse of the, because it was an international thing, no, means the new, that was a commentary for over 17 to 3 weeks it was going on, that international attention was on spotlight on that. So she was asking on that. So I said, I think in that case, no, we seem to be going down a rat hole, and it's like it's going to be that difficult to get them out of that place. All those 42 people. Probably Amit Shah heard of it, and then they remembered the law that they had passed of banning the rat miners. They only had banned the rat miners from occupation. And then they only had to come to save those people. The rat miners only came and saved the people. What I want to say is that area is ruled by Parshuram. So you had to take his permission. And Parashuram had blessed the Kshatriya clan, the Mushika Vamsha, that is the rat lineage. And that lineage only could save those miners from any machine you bring. They were all breaking down into pieces. They had arranged the pieces also for display. Different parts of the machine, how they were breaking down one after the other, and nothing could help them out. So that was, I'll tell you, at that time itself, the divinity has already started working in this country in making this government aware of all their wrongdoings. Till then, they were hoodwinking. Nobody understood anything what was going on. Very few, even if they understood, they preferred to keep quiet, because majority, even the media, was only propagating him. Means he had become a non-biological person also. Non-biological incarnation or whatever he tried, and it was being accepted also, to the extent that it had reached its heights, you can say. At that time, the divinity had awakened right in the Devbhumi, trying to caution. A whole process which shouldn't have taken more than 2 3 days at the most, with the kind of machines they were using. They took so many days, and it was a natural process until I had not told anything. I was just observing, and although because I was not sure, because I wouldn't, and I never knew the existence of rat miners, that they had banned. There were such kind of people who were actually who used to claw that out. I mean, who used to use their hands and furrow the mud out of the that kind of occupation itself was new to me. So I wouldn't have been able to help in that way. But then I knew that there was some correlation between Parshuram and this Mushika Vamsha, and something related, that Kshatriya clan had to come. Kshatriya should be the rulers and not the people who are in the ruling right now. That much I was aware. So there was some awakening that was happening. And I think a lot, what is being revealed today, the kind of mess they have made with the voting pattern, and how they have fraudulently been elected themselves to just to maintain their power, just to feel that, because of their fear of losing power. They already knew that they had no standing amongst the people, but then somehow they had to show their retain their power. So one by one it is being revealed. Yesterday also another 32, one fellow who won in 32 seats, 120 some, no, 200 and something, or 200 and something envelopes were not opened only. The voting ballots, the postal voting ballots were not opened only. Now again, that fellow is going to win. I think the date has been given, some date the court has given. So again, he will win. So like this, one by one, everything individually has to be dug up. As I was telling, it's such a big guttam has become, that एक एक करके वो मांझा को छुड़ाना है, and वो कार्यक्रम शुरू हो गया है. And it is such a big कार्यक्रम because India is such a vast country, and they have not only taken over the Lok Sabha, it has gone to percolated to the Vidhan Sabha also. So and then with that double engine kar karke, it has gone to the very grassroots level. And our corruption has become so ingrained in the brains that the people don't even realize that they are doing wrong. That their adoration and the need to support the government has superseded their level, their need for honesty, or their value system. That किसी तरह we have to be honest, at least at our level we should be honest. No, it was superseded by the powers who control them. So that honesty has become minus. Forget zero, minus में चला गया है. तो अभी वहां से redeem होते होते, it is a big task, but in 3 months, if it is able to reach this position of agitation, so much so that yesterday, and it is being assisted from world events also, by from pressures from the other countries also, that also can be easily seen. In fact, yesterday one tanker which was bringing rice and sugar to Porbandar port, it was burnt. It got burnt. Luckily the 15 sailors were survived. The natural calamities is showing, and right in Gujarat, okay. And that was rice and sugar containers. It was containing. I don't know whether it was leaving the port or coming to the port. If it was leaving, then export is gone. If it was coming, then your Diwali is gone. So anyway, that it was sunk, the entire consignments got sunk. It was burnt. Next, today, Philippines, a 5-level tsunami tornado has lashed that area, Philippines area. Philippines, Malaysia. It is going to travel to Taiwan, Hong Kong. So it's traveling this area, so this region. So enter that northeastern belt, northeast or eastern, it's under threat. So see, these are all the way nature will revolt, just as the mountains were revolting. Mountain tunnel fell down, capture those people. That was a minor. It was just a trailer. You can say the trailer, even the nature knows to have fun with you. So it was like a trailer, and then after that it is taking gigantic proportions. There's already a big fault line in Tibetan Himalayan region which could touch right up to the Delhi. So this also had come in 2022 itself. A video had come which also I had forwarded to the channel. Anyway, so these are all. So what I want to say is, when only when we are aware, when we are in the present, when we are in sync with the divine, then only we will get alerted of such calamities or where we are going wrong. Just as an individual, when I have so much difficulty in choosing कि ये लेना है कि ये लेना है, so then when I have that much confusion in my mind, then we go to an analytical basis. Analytical, so we go analytic means क्या क्या positive है, क्या क्या negative है, ये लेगा तो, so that we analyze and we come to a conclusion. But in the case of say a relationship or a friend, किसको trust करना है, how we can rely on such a person, or whether you should believe this or not. So in those cases where it is not based on any data, where there's no analysis business, there you have to be intuitive, or where you need to have um, a certain belief or a faith in something and then decide. So there, in those cases, our intuitive ability and our sense of right and wrong, our sense of how the universe works, how the universe assists what is good, and asks us to avoid what is bad. Just like in that 9/11, there were so many people who got killed, but then there were also so many people who narrated stories where they were escaped from being killed, from being in that building at that particular. Miraculously, some people that day they did not go there, or just 5 minutes before they were taken somewhere else. They were had to go and attend to something else. So that way they escaped. So then, see, these are divine premonitions, you can say, or divine indications for which we need to be in sync with the universe. Then only um, we will get directions, and we will be able to understand what it is trying to tell us. And we all know the black cat crossing in front of us while when we are going out of the house. So we all know, we say, okay, a black cat has come. There's something bad luck is going to happen. So better to wait for some time and then go after some time, or then get out of the house after some time, or we do some kind of such stopgap arrangement. But what is going to happen is going to happen. So we need to be careful of these kind. Not only careful, become alert to this and avoid what is harmful for all. So whatever you may say, that when certain things are not or founded on, when it is not based on certain funders, like for example, giving so much of land to someone who has no experience in that area, has no expertise in that area, just because the government wants to favor somebody, and at what they are doing at the cost of harming so many farmers. Taking land from somebody else and giving it to someone else, that is, you are seizing their occupation, unka livelihood. Now where they don't know anything other than that farming. They have no knowledge to do any other thing. They don't know how to operate any machine, and they're all 40s, 50s, 60s may age group. They can't do it, and they are the owners. Now what will happen? You may say, I'm giving them 5 kilos rice, 5 kilos wheat and oil and everything. But then that is just hand to mouth, no? After your government is gone, who will give that? Besides, from where you will get that continuously for feeding so many people? How are you justified? So, and you must never, and then you are not allowing them to do their karmas. So are you taking over their non-doing, the sins of not performing their karmas? The king is responsible when he takes the credit of some of the people, he is responsible for the sins of the people. He takes it over, it gets transferred. So sometimes we wonder, he, itna, so much famous he was, how now he is required to suffer. It is because that was your dharma of allowing everybody to do their karma. Varnashrama dharma, that is each one, the subjects have to be, the role of a king, of the ruler, of the government is to facilitate the people to do their karmas. Not to do away with their karmas and then say, I will substitute it with some doles every month. So then they are going against not only their dharma, they are also preventing others from their dharma. So multiplier effect, the one hammer will come from the heaven on the head. So that's how the situation is presently. It has assumed that kind of proportions. Everyone is agitating everywhere, particularly the youth, because they were all given the task. Most of this youth, from what they doing, they were handling the social media of this government. And for that, they were paid 2.5 rupees, 2 rupees or something for every post that they do. That was the way they were earning the money. Whether that is a job, whether any girl will get married to him if he has this kind of a job. And then the paper, there was a news, the girls don't want to get married in India. The girls in India don't want to get married. That is the title of the article, okay? Who will get married to such kind of people? Right, and then another thing was, they do all kinds of experiments on softwares, on the application of softwares and all on these people, testing softwares, testing apps, testing game apps, and then you get money for the number of clicks and things like that. So you are um, uh, um, you are taking the or you are sidelining a whole generation, a whole group of youth who have a whole lifetime ahead into something which is temporary. Temporary satisfaction or temporary rewards, temporary fulfillment for in trade with, as against their their whole life journey, what they were to fulfill in life, what their purpose in life was, why they took this birth, what was the aim, to what learnings they had to happen in their life. That all is gone. Totally, this hoodwinked, brainwashed, and then it is diverted into this fantasy, into a make believe world, which makes them actually hollow. उनको पूरा खोखला कर देता है. And then they don't have any values, they are not able to judge for themselves कि वो क्या कर रहे हैं, वो सही है कि गलत है. And then they are already into the wrong track, and then a lot of time has passed in the process. They're already 28, 29, 25. Means they're also growing. All their youth, when they're 15, 16 to 20, 20, 22, when they can learn, when their mind is fresh and fertile, and where they can learn and utilize their creative minds, it is getting used in these kind of useless activity of media attention. Media, what you create a image, or you propaganda of an image larger than life of some non-biological fantastic terminology given to this, and then you keep on boosting that only for 11 years together. Okay, initially 3-4 years was good, you can say, but then after that this trend started. This trend of building the image, and to sustain the image, and then to maintain the image, and then now to make permanent that image. So you want to remain permanently in an illusion. So and they don't, and now some of a certain section are unable to shake it off. दे आर अभी तो उनको वो अभी भी होश ही नहीं है, मीन्स दे आर नॉट इवन, दे आर स्टिल इन दैट बेहोशी ओनली. सो इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू इवन उनको जागरूक करना बहुत this. So that's why today I was just looking at some videos where then they blame some elite group. They say that they want to wipe off a certain section of the population. Certain means they want to reduce the population on the earth, and so all these are tactics made so that they lose their awareness. People lose their awareness, and then they don't know what is happening to them, and then they are wiped off. That's a blame game that's being propagated also. They say okay, certain sections aisa hai jo we can see by the drugs that is coming in, by the amount of drugs that are being captured in the ports. Means this way they will smuggle. So we know of so many parties where the drugs are put into the drinks where they have. So in that way, little by little, you become victims of that substance, and then you lose your thinking power, ability to think. This is how you become deluded totally. And when a country like ours, which has 140 crores of people, okay, all may not come under even if 20 crores come under that, also is a big sum. 20-30 crores of population come. And who will be? They'll be mostly these youngsters. And 38% are youngsters. 35 to 38% in the age group of 16 to 28 or 32 or something, in that age group. 35 max, outside 35 you can say 38% are there. So it's a big problem, big problem. At least in other countries, you can say small countries like Congo, Malay, this and all, they have only 2-3 crores or 4-5 crores of people, and the area is also limited. It is possible to easily outreach them. But in a country like India, where it is so densely populated, as someone was saying, अगर airport में land किया तो हमारे पूरा country का population इधर है, in that airport. Some foreigner came to land in the Bombay airport and he saw my whole country's population in this airport. He went back, caught the flight back. Then I can't handle this. I can't remain in this country. So if that is the condition in our country, so then how to reach to the to forget to even communicate to that people, individual, how to reach to their subconscious mind, how to reach his subtle energy system, how to reach his brain. तो दूर की बात है ना. To reach his conscious mind, unconscious, it's very out of question almost. To get them to meditate and then get them to breathe, get them to be aware, and फिर उनको जब आएगा realization तब. हमने एक बहुत बड़ा चक्रव्यूह में फंस गया है. We are to it's going to be, we are almost 200 years back. We can go back to Annie Besant's time and start from there. Annie Besant was born in 1847, when 1947 is our Independence Day. Now in 2047, we want to celebrate 100 years of independence. So we are going to back to her birth date. She was born on 1st October in 1847. So almost we are going 150 years back. And then to come back to 2047, it will take, so it is about a 200-year journey. There was a song in one of the Hindi song. He was a drunk, I think, a Bengali actor. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Uttam Kumar.
Ethics, not Uttam Kumar. Another one. He was a Hindi actor, I think. But
Jai
this was
Mukherjee.
Bengali context, Bengali setting.
Jai Mukherjee.
No. B says B. His name starts in B, I think. Anyway, it was a famous film, and sometimes just that picture that just holding him holding at the hand like that at the entrance of the theater. Because that particular the snapshot comes to mind, and then we just flashback that particular song where he's fully drunk, and then one step forward, two steps back, one he's just managing to walk.
He's going back.
No, he's going somewhere, but he's going one step forward, two steps back.
So he's actually not
He's
going forward,
actually going reverse
going back.
direction. So that is how we will be going backward direction in this kind of a situation. Okay. So so it was a long discussion. There's been no anything you'd like to add?
By 10 minutes, we'll meditate.
Yes. See that your feet are firmly planted on the floor. Relax into your body, spine erect, eyes gently closed. Bring all your attention to your breathing. Keep all your thoughts to outside. Count 1 to 12 as you inhale and 1 to 12 as you exhale. Keep your attention on your breath. Feel the flow of breath within as the diaphragm is pushed downwards, stomach comes out. And as you exhale, the stomach goes in, the diaphragm is pushed upwards, and the lungs release the carbon dioxide, and you exhale. In this process of being consciously aware of your breathing, by keeping the mind engaged in counting, you train the muscle of attention. The seat of attention or awareness is in your liver. So when you damage the liver through alcohol or drugs, the liver becomes lethargic and your awareness is reduced. To keep your attention sharp, need to do away with substance abuse. It's not on grounds of morality or religion that it is considered harmful. It is because even externally, as demonstrated, you lose control over yourself. Not only over your body, but your mind, your attention, your awareness, your emotions. And the moment your friends or your enemies know of your weakness, you know that the remote is in someone else's hands. It's this weakness that is exploited even by governments to fulfill their agenda. The government is there to facilitate. We have all come to the school of the earth to learn, to grow, to evolve without pressure. Let us respect each other's freedom to live, earn a livelihood, and depart when it's time. In this time when we are here together, let us participate in the co-creation with the universe for the betterment of all. Each of us need to know our role and position in this setup. This deep stillness and silence is a great healer. We all have baggage of trauma and wounds we have been carrying over lifetimes. We need the freedom to be healed and grow into our own fullness. Let's stay in tune with our soul's calling. Bring your attention back to your breathing. Slowly wriggle your fingers and toes. Rub your hands together. Cup your palms and place it on your eyes. Gently rub your face and open your eyes.